Om Shanti. Good evening and welcome to today's Insight session.
Om Shanti and good evening.
Good evening. You will soon see my face on the TV. Shubha, transit from Shiv Baba to my picture. So welcome to those who are here in person and also those who are joining us remotely, virtually as well. And it was nice to have you on Saturday, holding a hand and healing a soul. And this month we have been exploring on different aspects of lightness. I'm light, different components of being light. Just zoom out, it's too, it's like, yeah, please zoom out. So today we're going to explore the dimension of compassion, the role of compassion in healing. When you hear the word compassion, what do you understand? Oh, what does it mean? You can use the mic. So those on, do you know how to turn it on? Yes. Mr. Allison will know. There is a button here. Push and hold it for a few seconds. Yeah, the transparent one. Yeah. You could just say hello. You could say Om Shanti. And what is
compassion? When I think of compassion, immediately what comes to mind is caring for
Caring.
someone else, caring for an animal, a person,
Mm,
a loved one, not even a loved one, just caring.
just caring.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
What comes to your mind? Caring for someone. And it could be animals, it could be plants, it could be people.
Yeah, I think for me is like a softness, like this
Softness,
gentle
gentleness.
hand, yeah.
You know, there in English, there are a couple of words. There is sympathy, there is empathy, and compassion. In sympathy, they say, I sympathize with you. Means I kind of understand what you're going through. I know. I know. No, people say I know what it's like. That's like sympathizing. I'm so sorry. Empathy. I know what you're going through, and I also feel what you're going through. If somebody's in pain, if somebody's in discomfort, I understand what that discomfort is, and also I can feel it. There's a feeling component. But compassion is a notch higher than that. I know, I understand, I feel, but there is also a thought to do something to mitigate that, to make a difference in that. I'm not just, I'm sorry, give a hug. I mean, that also acts as an act of compassion for sure. But the intention is there is an act that you do which will try and mitigate it. Now, where does compassion begin? Kaushikpa, you can turn on all the lights, so then this will turn on. Switch on all the lights. Whatever is off also, you can turn it on. The bottom one? Yes. Where does compassion begin? Is it always for someone, something, somebody? I can have compassion for me, but where should it actually begin? Is it there that I'm compassionate means I'm always doing a gesture of giving, caring, sharing to someone, something? Or should it begin somewhere else? And what is the extent of compassion? What are the different components of compassion? Go ahead.
I feel like sometimes it depends on your experiences or where you are in your life.
Mhm.
I feel sometimes it is you caring for somebody else before you learn to care for yourself
Mhm.
or find that. So it's almost like you lending that hand until you realize that, maybe you can have compassion for yourself. It's not just about the other person. But
Mm.
then again, it could be you first finding that in yourself. But I don't think like a lot of people find it within their selves
You're
first. They're
absolutely
always
true.
ready to
The
give.
statistics is like
than-
that.
than
It is
to-
always like on there, but what about here?
Yeah.
Right? And yes, go ahead. Please. That's okay. There are many who are
I know.
listening, so they could.
I know. I do feel like in my life, as you said, with experiences, I grow from my experiences. I grow from my challenges, and it has to come from within, because if I'm unable to care for me, how am I able to care for others?
Others.
And so it's, well, I mean, for my journey, it's been a journey of learning and believing and faith and all these things that bring about something inside of me that is now able to go outwardly. So
Very true.
yeah, you made me think of.
I don't know if you probably know the story of the Titanic, right? Everybody knows. But there is another part of, one was the ship sinking, but there is another part where when the ship was sinking, the captain kept calling out, I don't know whether it's Mayday, whatever they say, he needs help, come. The ship has been hit, I need help. Now, there were many ships which were nearby who chose not to come because one, it's dangerous because it's in the middle of the night to sail through those unseen. They can get hit by an iceberg. They might be looking at their fuel. Do I have enough fuel to go off route, pick and come? Many things. But way far, there was another captain. I forget his name. I don't know whether his name was Captain Arthur or something. I don't remember. And he decided he will go. And he didn't think people who were there, do we have enough space to bring back people to take on our ship? Do we have enough fuel? How risky is it to go to that place and come back? All he thought was, we just need to help. There's somebody stuck there, they're dying, it's hit. We should be the ones. And in that weather, you can't sail too fast, right? There's a certain amount of speed. Apparently, that's all you can go. Keeping all that in mind, so many were saying demotivating. It will take us this many hours to reach there. By the time we reach there, it might have all been finished. No, all of those things. But still, all he thought was, I need to help. What can we to make a difference in their lives? And he went. So there is a huge component of altruism, selflessness, selfless giving and unlimitedness, thinking out of the box. There were so many limitations, so many barriers for which I could have just been in my comfort zone. But he chose to come out of his comfort zone. It was easy. Let me go home. Oh, somebody will go. It was very easy. Why should I stop? Why, not even just stop. I need to take a deviation. I need to take risk of myself and the entire crew and go there. So the different levels, to a different extent that we can take compassion into, right? But why do we have to be compassionate? When you help someone, how do you feel? Pretty good, right? There's something called as a helper's high. Say I'm coughing. Somebody will come and give me a bottle of water. Yeah, just arbitrarily. I didn't ask for it. Come and give. How do you feel? Drink that water. Like, I'm feeling good. And you feel good too. Say, good. I'm glad the sister is feeling better now. Right? Act of you feel good when you help someone. Now, just observe your day. I'm just going to show a bunch of slides so you can follow me through it. Kaushik, you'll have to change there. Yeah. You have to change there. Oh, it's come today. It changed its mind. Very good. And you can have your gallery so they can see as well. So, does your life look something like this? Where you might be working 8 hours during the day. Some people say, I eat and work. I don't have even time to eat. I don't even have time to breathe. Does it happen to you like that? And when you get home, are you done? You can just, no, exactly. Who's done after getting home? There is another job waiting. Maybe there are parents, they're elderly, they're my dogs. I have to take them for a walk. Maybe children, maybe the spouse, a whole set of errands that we have to do at home, right? So through most part, this is just a snapshot. You might be doing more than what is written over there. So most of the chunk of your time, is it for you or is it for somebody else that you're spending? Majority of your time. Others? Is that same for you, Lisa? Mostly it's for others? So if you're helping others, you're working for others, you're doing things for others, if that helpers formula were to work, how should we feel as we kept helping, as we keep helping, as we keep doing for others? At the end of the day, your happiness factor should be way on top. Yeah, it should come out of the thermometer, the barometer, not thermometer, barometer, right? But how do you feel at the end of the day when you've gone through this kind of a cycle? Oops. 1 second. Sometimes that's good. So we have a thermometer called as a fatiguometer. How is the level of my fatigue, right? So as we go through the day, this presentation was for a group of medical field doctors. So that's why you see with the stethoscope and fatiguometers and stuff like that. Mm. So at the end of the day, what is happening to our fatiguometer? Way high. If the helpers formula were working, it should have been different, but doesn't seem to be so. So when you get fatigued, when you're getting tired, they say, are you taking your supplements? Are you eating right? Are you taking your vitamins? So one of the very important vitamin that we need to take is vitamin C. They say this is your immunity booster. It'll keep you well. It'll keep you, it'll keep you good. Do you take vitamins? You do? You do too? I had stopped taking vitamins after coming to Guyana. I was like, oh, there's so much of natural fruits and vegetables, so many varieties of colors. They say, right, you should have 4 or 5 colors in a day, and that's good. Antioxidants are there. But then, no, you do need to take. Huh? Correct. That's right. So this is like a supplement. That's not the main source of food either. Yes. So one of the important supplement that we need to take is our vitamin C. Now, I don't know, I might have shared this story with you. What's in your cup? Have I? No. What's in your cup? I only need coffee on the days ending with Y. Is there a day which is not ending with a Y? So this is a person who loves coffee. You like coffee, right? Mm. So not like this cup, but you have this Starbucks cup, like, the disposable cup like that. And this person every day goes to the store, buys a cup of coffee, and he goes to work. And one fine day, he's coming out, he's wearing his nice white shirt, ready for his meeting. And as he's walking through the stairs, he slams into somebody. And what happens? The coffee comes all over his shirt. And he just still goes into the board meeting. And everybody's like, what's wrong with you? What happened? What are some of the responses would you give? What happened? Reaction. What would you say in your reactions? Hmm. I wasn't looking, or he wasn't looking? He wasn't looking. Yeah, that's right. He was, what is that? Off to a good start. Good for you. Mike.
My first day of work in Chicago, I was walking right just across the street was my workplace, and a car drove past and splashed me
Oh,
with water. It was the first time they meeting me, everything in my internship. Talk about icebreaker. I walk in, I'm like soaking wet,
oh goodness.
and I was like,
Welcome to Chicago.
there I am.
You just said that?
Yeah,
Oh, good for
here
you.
I am. Ready.
So we have all different responses that we could give. No, I slipped, or that person. Oh, we can have some interesting words which we don't want to even think of. Right? But this person said a very interesting answer, and he said there was coffee in my cup. And they're like, there was coffee in the cup. If there was juice, there would be juice on my shirt. If there was milk, there would have been milk on my shirt. If there was water, there would have been water on my shirt. So what's in my cup? What's in my inner cup? When I'm faced with any challenge, situations, obstacles, barriers, when I'm squeezed, what comes out? They'll always say, when you squeeze an orange, orange juice will come. When somebody squeezes me, what is coming out? So one is that check to do. What's coming out now? Secondly, what would I want it to come out? Maybe it is not compassion at that time. Maybe I'm not very peaceful at that time. But what would I want to come out? What would I like to have in my cup so that whenever I'm faced with challenge, that's what is coming out? So to do that analysis, what I have and what would I like to have? Also on those on Zoom, what would you like to have in your cup? Let's go ahead. So taking care of myself, right? So what does compassion for the self mean? Yes, I understand. I told you the story of the Titanic. It is for someone else. Yeah, I'm risking my life. I'm risking so much. I'm not worried about whether I have resources, what's happening to me or to the crew. I'm going. But let's start with the self. And what does it mean to be compassionate with myself? How does it even look like for you? What does it even mean for you? Before I go and share some aspects of it, something from a clean slate. I don't want to color and bias you, and so you start steering your thinking in that way. No? When somebody is being compassionate to themselves, what do you see happening? It could be on a physical, tangible level. It could be at the untangible level. Please, Nikki, go ahead.
The physical aspect, I see, I know that nutrition and physical fitness is a big part. The physical aspect is rest.
Rest. Yes, rest.
Physical aspect is interacting with healthy people or like-minded people. I think that gives to me.
Very true.
The emotional and spiritual side for me today is to really pay attention and to spend that time. I think I've done a lot of work trying to get to know me because I didn't before. I hyper-focused outwardly. And so it was never for self. It was never here. And I do find time to get to know me. And one of the big things for me today, I think compassion for self is understanding. I'm a perfectionist and I can be a controller, but to understand that I don't need to be those things and that there is no perfection. And the last thing I would say for me, compassion for self is understanding my defects and assets and recognizing that they can move, but I have to be cognizant or conscious of that. And what do I do with that on a daily basis? Those are the things. There's no perfection here. So there are days when I am not in that place and there are days when I am in that
And
place.
is that okay?
And I think it's okay because it's me being gentle with myself.
True.
Because when I go to a place where I don't think it's okay, that's when the perfection is when I need. That's when I want to control everything, me and everybody around me.
Yeah.
And that's when actually people move away from me because that's not what
Mhm.
whatever I'm putting out is not what they want, you know? So that's what I think.
Very nice, very well said. And no, very true, because you're okay in things not being okay. That's important. It's okay to say, all right, but here, if I'm having extra thoughts, oh, the tablecloth is 1 inch off the curve, like, yeah, it has to be 5 inch or whatever. You try to your best, and if it doesn't happen, then you don't worry about it. So that's okay. I remember working when I was in Philadelphia working, and we would have deadlines to meet as well, and some tasks to do. And sometimes it's like you're working overtime and everything, and you can't meet it. So my coworker would say, nobody's going to die. We can come back and do. Not the world is not going to end. So, all right, that's your attitude. Let's go home. Just for our own sanity and just for everyone. We're trying, but you're not able to finish. It's not the end of the world. We can come back and finish this. So, all right, let's do that. But yes, I need to know where to draw that line as well. So nicely said, from tangible to intangible, from giving proper nutrition to yourself, rest, exercise, to the subtle aspect, which is taking me away from my being in ease. Lisa, you want to say something about how do you see for yourself being compassionate to the self?
I'll go off of her with in
Mhm.
terms of like rest, taking pauses. Like if I feel my day it's getting overwhelming or anything, I cancel.
You
I
cancel your
said,
appointments.
yeah, I said I feel horrendous today and I'm not gonna give this energy to
Mm.
you or before I would just go, 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 go. Like I used to play hockey, like work, hockey, and then sleep, wake up and do the same thing again. And I was like,
It's not sustainable.
nope, I'm running down my energy that I'm given.
Mhm.
It's not there. So rest. I just take a pause and I do something that I like, whether it's just be a couch potato for a little bit. Like my Sundays, I said Sundays are my day. It's like nobody asked me. I get to do what I want. I get to move at a snail's pace. So I dedicate like time to
My
myself,
day. Mhm.
and I make sure that I have that. And I think like that for me is important. The way that and well, also with all the emotional and mental aspects of, just taking time to
Very true.
reflect, go through your
Time to
day.
reflect, time to unwind, many things, right?
Yeah.
You make time for it. You adjust your day for it. Anybody on Zoom would like to share? We have a good number of people on Zoom. Anybody? Welcome, welcome. More people joining on in person. Very good. So I remember when we were designing this, welcome. You could sit here. Feel free to sit where you are. When we were designing this workshop for compassion, and because as I said, this was for the people in the medical fields we were designing, and I have a friend who is an endocrinologist, and she lives in New York, New Jersey at the moment. But yes, you would think 9 o'clock is an okay time in US to message, WhatsApp somebody and ask for a question. So it was a little off 9, and I didn't get a response from her. She replied to me the following day. Says, sister, to be compassionate with my body, I turn off my phone at 9. That's all right. Of course, when she's on call, she's on call. But when she isn't, so this is like a bookend. No, she to be compassionate, to take care of herself, that she sets this. No, she can do extra, no problem. But again, this you don't have to buy whatever I say here, right? So everybody's thinking process is different. Like personally, for me, I need to work on myself. I know very well. There are days that I sleep like 4 hours, 5 hours, and I go, right? So many things the soul is involved in. And sometimes I would, when I was in India, when mom wasn't well, I would have Zoom calls sometimes till 11:30 in the night, time 12. And again, morning you get up, you have to do translation at 5 or stuff like that. And I would just sit, reflect for myself and connect to God. I said, okay, I'm glad that this instrument is being of use to you, no? That you're able to use me for something. I could have just been easy go lucky and sleep or do one thing, but I'm glad that you're finding some use through this instrument. That's how I would look at it. But I do understand that I need to be compassionate with the body and to make something that is sustainable and to give quality, not quantity, but quality for the self. And is my cup getting full? Because if the cup is empty, then I won't be able to give. Mm. You'll have to, Fawaz, right? All right. So we're just talking about what does it mean to be compassionate with the self, right? So they were sharing some things. For me, being compassionate to myself is to see positive in every aspect. What am I consuming? I'm very mindful of. There was a time when anybody and everybody would come and just talk about the other, like complain or something, and they have nowhere else to go. They'll come and say, which is fine, but then I don't have to be consumed by that. So, I need to bring the divine in between. I have to the divine intervention that I need to put a filter right here so that it's not entering, right? So I'm being mindful, as you said, the interaction, who we choose to be with, who are my friends. I'm very mindful of that. Otherwise, then you get colored, you get sucked. You want to say something, Nikki? So we know what compassion for the self means. Brother Fawaz, you want to add something? So we know what it means. So what stops us from being compassionate to ourselves? We know what it means, right? And we know different tangible and intangible aspects. So why aren't we taking care of ourselves? Why aren't we giving the time for ourselves? What is stopping us from being compassionate with the self? What stops us? Anybody, even on Zoom or in person?
I think sometimes, uh, I think sometimes productivity, people's idea of success as productivity, if you understand where I'm going with this, like in order to feel like you've
I have the same kind of car. No, I need to
done
get that
some-
brand. That's
yeah,
what you mean?
like
To meet
this,
with
like,
the standards?
no, it's like some people can't sit back and do nothing or sit back and they have to feel
Feeling
productive.
worthy
They
of
they
doing
need to do something,
Mm.
be somewhere,
of
help
value.
someone or whichever,
Correct.
and I find like people are afraid
Mm.
of just sitting and
Mhm.
just being and figuring out like you said, you had to figure out what you like you're so caught up in your day that sometimes you don't even know, do I like reading? Do I like hiking? Do I
Mm.
like music, what kind of music I like. You ever
I
sat
never
down,
explored this.
never explored. And I think like sometimes there's a fear or even like a taboo. When you
True.
in society, like you
It's like waste of time.
what like doing like people would tell me, Elise, like you could make so much more money,
Money.
like or
Why
whatever.
don't you
I'm
do
like
two jobs? Three
I'm like
jobs? Mhm.
no, like
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with this. I have my sanity, I have my
Correct.
time, like that's it. And sometimes it's that society, if you let it
It'll
get
suck
in
you
there, then
in.
you're in like productivity. Yeah,
Very
I can
true.
do more, I can do this and do that, and then you feel
But at the end of
like
the day, how am I feeling?
right.
Right? I know a brother he's in India and he still works for Tata Consultancies and was one of the top leaders for the company, one of the top. And in his peak, he decided to quit from that position and take up the branch which does philanthropic work. So everybody said, this is a career suicide. You shouldn't be doing this. So he went and spoke to his parents. What are your expectations? It's like, no, we have enough. Do what you want with your life, right? That's which is very unusual to find in an Indian family. Like, you do what you want with your life. We are okay. I said, fine, I don't want to do this. I want to do something. So now he's become, he's touched thousands of people's lives. He mentors young entrepreneurs and he trains them. And amazing, thousands of people who have got benefited from him. Career-wise, may not be. But look at now again, what is it that I want? What is it that gives you satisfaction? What is it that makes you feel valuable? No? Go ahead, Nikki.
I think valuable, the word you just used, valuable, is one of the things that struck me over time. When I was younger, I was in every aspect of volunteer. I was lucky to have the time to do it. And I thought that was my value. And it's not that it's not that I can't be doing something voluntarily and caring that way. But I thought I needed that to validate me.
Validation. Yep.
And
Identity.
today I can separate, I can actually love myself. I know myself, I can love myself, and I can validate me. And I think that's a really important, it has been really important for me, at least, because when I don't validate me and I allow others to, whatever they say that is right for me or they think is right for me, then I think I need to listen to that, hear that, do that. And it's what Alice is saying. It's when the focus is outward and not
Inward.
inward, and you
Very
said
true.
the word taboo, and it's so true
So true.
because so often society tells us
Mm.
how to do or what to do, or you're lazy if you don't do A or B. And I think that's, I like the word value.
Mhm. And that's why in the previous slide, we had a heart. Compassion for self is nothing but how much do I love myself? Do I really love myself? Do I value myself? So what is that stops us from being compassionate with ourselves? Some is, as you said, taboo. I don't have enough time to take care of myself because I put myself in the back burner and others are more important than my happiness or my sanity. Those are some of the things. So how do we cultivate? What is it? Alisa. She's just confirming your name. Alisa. Yeah, I've dissected her name a lot. Allison, I know. I'm like, why didn't you correct me? Then we're like, Alisa. So, as you mentioned, there has to be a recipe, right? How do I take care? A self-compassionate diet. And well, for the world out there, for taking care of this body, this is from school. You must have seen this pyramid. How much carbs, how much proteins, how much fat, how much minerals, vitamins, antioxidants you have to take. But for compassion with the self, what is it that affects the most? Are these. At the top of the pyramid is exercise. You know, the way I feel, definitely exercise has an impact. You know, when you do exercise, you have these endorphins, the different hormones that get circulated, and you feel good. You know, you feel. Do you work? I know she does. Do you, when you exercise, you feel good, even if you do for 5 minutes. You know, even that movement exercise that we do, people feel good. Career plays an important role on how we can take care of ourselves. I might have the best of the health, but if I'm in a wrong career, that'll create a lot of stress, um, challenges in career, in my job, causes stress. And more than that is a big chunk is relationship. I have the best health, best of the jobs, but I'm not good with my boss. I don't have good coworkers, or I'm not even one relationship issue is just enough to ruin my peace of mind. You know, you might have so many other roles and hats that you're playing, but if there's one which is, there's no harmony, then it'll keep pulling our energy, our attention over there. So relationships play a good amount role. And even bigger than that is spirituality. Am I in harmony with myself? Welcome, welcome. You're going to outbeat the number of people on Zoom. No, kidding. Do you want to sit this side, or do you want to turn your neck? All right, that's fine. Look, that's the reason why she chose to sit there. So I don't get to see her. Spirituality, right? Like, how am I doing as a spiritual being? How is my inner self taking care? So that plays an important role in being compassionate with the self. Now, what is the food for the being? Say food for thought. But what is it that I'm feeding myself? Thoughts. Thoughts becomes feeling. Feeling leads to actions. We are very mindful of what we eat. Is it fresh? Is it organic? Is it clean? Is it hygiene? What kind of thoughts am I feeding myself? Are they healthy thoughts or unhealthy thoughts? Do you feel sometimes your day is like that? My mind is all over. Huh? You feel sometimes? Today? Well, you see this line in the last? The goal is to direct the mind away from ways towards elevated thought. No, like the thought is to go from one end to the other. So there are necessary thoughts, useless thoughts, negative, constructive, elevated thoughts, or spiritual thoughts. So they say, how many feel like this, man? Yeah, many. They say this is the amount of thoughts that we have, 60 to 80,000 thoughts during the day. Imagine how much we are thinking per minute. How many thoughts do you have, Nikki, and an average? Have you guess? Can you guess? In a minute, 60 seconds only. 60 seconds is a long time. In a second, we might be having so many thoughts, isn't it? Very true. It also depends on in what state of mind we are in. If we are anxious, when we are stressed out, when there is fear, the number of thoughts, the quality of thoughts are different. There'll be fast thoughts back to back. You say, my heart is racing. People say that. Before the one thought finishes, the next thought is coming. It's fast. And they're not, it doesn't mean just because you're thinking a lot, you're going to feel powerful. Do you feel like that when you're having lots of thoughts? Do you feel energetic? No, exactly. Those thoughts are of low energy, so it drains us. In the same different context, different scenario, when you are sitting and reflecting, you might be sitting by the beach or in Mother Nature, just having a contemplation or introspection. How many thoughts we might be having in a minute? You could just count the fingertips, like a few thoughts. And how are you feeling? Elevated? Feel better compared to the other? So it is not the quantity of thoughts that I have, it's the quality. So to be compassionate with myself is to move away from negative, toxic, waste, unnecessary, ordinary, positive to elevated thoughts. You see the sequence I went through? Toxic, negative, waste, unnecessary, ordinary, positive, elevated. Elevated thoughts may be few, but powerful. So compassion starts there. Am I having any extra thoughts? One is I have extra thoughts. Another is I become instrumental for someone else to have extra thoughts because of me. Does it happen? Happens. Say I'm instrumental to take care of this hall, right? And I was in a rush. I forget to lock this door. I forget to lock this door. Then what happens? Whatever the consequences of that are. And if somebody else comes, or I forget to unlock it, and there's somebody at the gate, it's so many times it's happened. We lock over here up, and somebody locks it down, and they're stuck in the tower multiple times. And if they have a phone, well and good. Otherwise, they'll keep screaming, inside, inside. So we become instrumental for somebody else's waste thoughts. Waste thoughts. Tatiana is bubbling to say, give her the mic, please. Because there are people on Zoom. What is it? Yes. It did happen. Oh, oh, right. Yes, yes, yes. I see that. It's okay. One is unknowingly I do something. And in spite of knowing I do something. That's why we have, in the medical field, we have medical liability insurance. Doctors have insurance in US because they can be sued for any negligence. You can be sued. So you have to be very mindful. Definitely. Yes. Well, let's not go into that conversation. There's pros and cons of that. Can you please give her the mic? Thank you. Thank you for accepting the mic.
So how do we balance out being somebody else's waste thoughts? Like, for example, the door incident.
That's what I say. See, one is you do as much as you can, and sometimes it happens. Right? So then don't be very critical on yourself. All right, next time I will do better. I learn from it and move on.
But if that
But
person just
if
holds a
that
grudge,
person's sanskar is nature, is to think, then it is not under your control.
they just hold a grudge.
They hold a grudge. Yeah. Like if you have done from your side as much as you can, and then you have to just step back and give good wishes to that soul, because everybody is going through their own journey. They have to process it for themselves. You can just give a space, safe space for them to feel comfortable. I'm here to talk if you want to. No? Our seniors would say, if you want to vomit in one place. Don't go vomit in 10 places. Means you spread the contagion, the infection. Mm. Mm. Are you both remembering on something you both did to each other? No, don't take that on the other side. See, you're not being compassionate with me. We know so much about the human body. We know all the chromosomes, all the DNAs and all of that. How much do I know about the being in the human body? So what is the DNA of the being? What am I? If I have to be compassionate to myself, what am I made of? Who am I? So we all are a point of light, and the DNA. No, I was asking you when you're squeezed, what you want to come out. What would you like to come out? This is our DNA. This is what we are made of. We're made out of peace, love, happiness, joy, wisdom, power, purity. Anybody here who doesn't like to be happy? What is the question? Anyone who likes to be peaceless? I feel weak, powerless. I've given all my powers to someone. Anyone who doesn't like to be loved, who doesn't like to care and love other? Anyone who likes to be a Buddhu? You know what is a Buddhu? Dumb. Buddhu. It's a very royal way of saying you are not wise. Yes, exactly. That's the word. Because any word in English, if I pick, it sounds as if I'm cursing. So I don't want to use that word. No, we all want to be peaceful. We all like happiness. We all like purity. When somebody is something inside and they act something outside, do you like it? Do you like yourself when you have a different feeling inside? Hi, I'm so happy to see you. But inside, I'm like, when are you going? Why did you even come? When there is a conflict of feelings inside, it's not one. Are you comfortable? I'm not being compassionate with myself. Doesn't mean that you show your wrong face. You be this all the time. That's what it means to be compassionate with yourself. No matter what the situation is, can I act from this space of peace? See, we all have a task list to do. At the end of the day, we'll keep checking, this is done, this is done, this is done. But in what state of mind did I finish it? Task will be done. I can do it in anger. I can do it in peace. Task will be done. How am I feeling as I'm finishing the task? You will see same number of clients who are appointments that you have. But how was my every interaction with them? I have to cook anyway, but can I cook in happiness? I'm doing it anyway. Is there anything extra that I need to do? Do I need an extra hour to cook in happiness? No. Do I need to take extra time out? Oh, I don't have time. How is that possible? Is that possible? Nikki, any thoughts? She's happy to send over the mic to you.
One of the things that I, again, had to work on was understanding exactly what self-love is and self-respect and all these, self. loving myself takes the same, or takes work, just like I have to love, I don't want to use the word work, because work is not it, but loving myself needs to take time and attention. I prefer those words. It's the same like loving a family member or loving someone else. I have to, that energy needs to come here. And there was a period in my life, I remember when I was always busy and just running and going and up and down. And I did not take time for self. But as you said, it's the orange juice. What came out was the anxiety, the irritability, sometimes I would be the person to say, sure, I'll do it. And then as fast as I say it, I'm resentful. What is wrong with me? Why did I do that? I don't have the time for this, And so a lot of energy, I've put a lot of
Is it
energy.
okay to
Mhm.
say no at that time?
No, I've learned that no is a full sentence. I did not know that. I did not know that when I was younger.
Did you say your no as a full sentence?
No is a
No.
full sentence. I don't need to give an explanation. I don't need to ask you to understand. I just need to be comfortable with knowing that I can't do something and saying no. It's on that person if they want to judge me. It's on that person if they want to have a reaction to me. But no is a full sentence. So,
Very true.
I think you really transform when you learn to say no.
Very true. I'm learning. Not there yet, but yes, learning. Also, something I wanted to say slipped my mind. Will come. Not to be false compassionate either. Not to be compassion, but not to give false compassion. Say somebody is addicted to smoking. I'll take a crude example. And smoking is injurious to health or it's not good for them. And they ask you to buy, or they ask you money for it. And they'll go to different extents. So at that time, and they'll have symptoms, withdrawal symptoms, when the craving, and they can have tantrums. It can be simple, it can be very aggressive, depending on what the addiction is. They can be very aggressive tantrums. So at that time, what is the right thing to do? Here, take a pack of cigarette, let me go and sleep. You go and sleep, I will go and sleep. This is a very crude example, but I want you to think, to be mindful of what is compassion and what's false compassion, where that person's negativity is harnessed, nurtured, this false compassion. At that moment, it might look that there's tantrums, there's being aggressive and different ways of manifestation. But what should be our role? For that, we need a lot of strength. It needs a lot of power. It needs a lot of different ways to deal with it. I need to be wise what to do, when to do, and what not to do. I've gone through this personal journey as well. And in many places, I've been told this is false compassion. Don't do this. Don't do this. Because you're not empowering that soul. They're becoming more dependent. They're going to become more dependent. So to take a stand and to say no, or no means a full sentence, I need power to stay there and feel comfortable and to feel stable. Because at the end of the day, it is good for that soul. It might not be instant, but the soul will improve. Want to say? Go ahead.
The term enabling is one of the things that I also learned in a similar journey. when I enable someone, I'm not actually compassionate for them. I'm satisfying something for me. So it's like you're saying with the cigarettes,
Mm.
oh, don't bother me. It's me needing not to be bothered. So it's
Bothered,
not really for
exactly.
them. It's something for me.
'Cause of
And I
how-
actually, yeah, so when I enable, I actually am not being compassionate. And it's,
Right.
you're right, it is hard because it's a tricky thing.
Yes.
Something that needs a lot of time and focus and understanding. So, and it's tough.
It is tough. It needs courage, it needs power, it needs resilience, tolerance, patience, many virtues, many things. You want to add to that, Tatiana? Brother Fawaz, you want to share? No? Okay. So this is the DNA of our being. So how do I take care of my inner circle? So compassion is nothing but a compass to go in, to look in, to connect to your true self. You know, you use the compass to see where is north, you're looking out. Compassion is a compass to look within. Connect to your true self, connect to your DNA. You like that? Go in. Let's look in. Every time you step in, you'll charge. The longer you stay in, you'll charge faster. It's like, you put a pot on a stove and you turn it on. You put water and you turn it on. So every time you connect in, you're turning it on. Every time I disconnect, I turn it off. So the longer, it's like I'm turning on, turning off, turning on, turning off. So I never get charged. The longer you keep it on, the longer you stay in your safe space, in your sacred space, you'll get charged. Anybody not busy in our group here? Tatiana, how many jobs do you do? 4? You do 4 every day, or in a week you do 4 jobs? That's a nice way to say. She didn't answer my question. That's absolutely fine. Can you use this, please? So our friends online can also take benefit.
So today, 2 were priority. They're not usually priority, so I had to do the priority ones today, and I just finished at 7 when I came here. Yeah, so
That's fine. So busy.
yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Everybody's life sometimes. Nights and Sundays. Everybody's needs are different, priorities are different, right? Some people want to paint. Some people want to go for a walk. Some people want to use whatever time they want. Different. It's not, nothing is right or wrong. It is what you choose and where you feel you're comfortable in. This is what I want. And this is where you see your self progress happening. So neither is right or wrong. At the end of the day, what is it I want? As long as your inner compass is in the right direction, you're all set to sail. So some of the things, 1-minute check-ins. We call it as the traffic control. Have you heard of this word, Brother Fawaz? What is traffic control? Take the mic. No. This, you will get a lot of self-confidence. Like, wow, you have hundreds of people listening to you. No, it's just a handful of us.
That's all right.
No. Because they won't listen and they'll be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
They're online, so they could listen. That's all. Otherwise, I'll need to repeat here. So
Alright.
you'll be compassionate to my voice. Yes, Brother Fawaz.
Yeah, your question is?
Le.
The traffic control.
What
Well-
what was the question?
What about the traffic?
Oh,
control?
yes, traffic. Thank you.
It
Just
doesn't
remember.
matter what you're tasked with, what you're tasked with for the entire day or your working schedule. You must take that time out. Just as it says 1 minute. Some people take more than a minute, but you must take that time out. That's the traffic control,
True.
right? Because you're busy all the time, but you're not taking that little time out to say, let me filter these things through and not rush.
True.
That's the control.
It's interesting. You just said the definition, what we share here, when on a physical road, when you have a traffic signal, when it's red,
Yeah.
we're supposed to stop. So even at the meditation center, like every hour, we
Yeah.
have like a music which gets played. And I mean, you don't have to have a music, just you can create your own traffic control. We stop, physically we stop, whatever we're doing, we sit down and stop.
Yeah.
This, what
It's
is it?
essential, you
Freeze,
must do it. You
right?
must do it. It's essential.
But what is the speed with which my thoughts are racing? It might be at 100, 200 miles per hour. So in that 1 minute, you slow down, observe your thoughts, center yourself. You do a little check-in. With what intention did I start my day? Did I say today, no matter what, I'm going to be a peaceful being? So in that every hour, 1 minute, or something that you do frequently or infrequently, but consistently. It might be sending a message in an hour, or maybe you send a voice message or something. Whatever you're doing, like at least once an hour, you pause. You take the time,
Yeah.
center yourself. But 1 minute switch on of the gas, you will get charged so much. It will last you for the next hour. You know how you take power naps? They're short breaks. But that really like recharges you. So like that. Yes. Highly recommended.
It's actually a good thing, but in a country like Guyana, you really can't get to do that little.
But you need a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. You don't.
Yes, yes, yep, absolutely. Good. When you exactly say such nice things, you doesn't take the mic. No, it's good. It's very good. I used to take 3 trains to go to my workplace from the center in New Jersey to Philadelphia. And I would love them, especially when I'm on my way back. I would sleep, I would get rest, I would get to read a book, all of those things, whichever I wanted to do. It was my best time. No, I was like, yeah, this is when I'm out, I've never missed my stop. Though it was never the last stop, but I've never missed my stop. Somehow I would know I have to get up and go now. So it's important to take those little naps. 3 joys, some 3 things that you really enjoy doing. What were some of the things you said? Music? No, it could be anything. No, it could be reflecting, anything that you enjoy doing. 3 things. That's also for yourself. A daily gratitude journal, absolutely. It'll change the whole perspective of how you see life. In every scene of, even if there's no way to go, there's no out of this puzzle, you will see what is good in that. You want to say something? Yeah. Can you give the mic, please? Yes, Nikki.
The gratitude lists, I do them all daily. It's what you're referring to with the negative out and the positive in.
Mm,
And that's what the gratitude list does for me. And
Very
I
true.
do that as well a couple of times a day. When I feel I'm getting flustered, I have to stop and do that. And so I fill my head with the good stuff and
Very
have
good.
to let go of the negative. So that's just saying that the gratitude list reminded me of
So
what
let
you were
me
talking
challenge you
about.
one thing
Yes.
that to find 5 new things every day that you're grateful for.
Mhm.
That's not the same. They told us 10, so I'm giving her 5. I'm being a
Mhm.
little compassionate to her.
Yeah,
Find new things that you're grateful for every day, something new.
yeah. Oh. I actually,
you.
I actually do try to find new ones.
Good,
Because I
good for
write
you.
them and I make, and it could be anything. It could
Mm.
be the smallest, it could be my oatmeal in the morning. I mean, it could be anything. But I try to find new ones.
Mhm. It
So,
becomes a
but
mindset,
I
what I
will-
can be
yeah,
grateful for every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened? Okay, all right. I know we're going time. Bookends for the day. So that's what I was mentioning about how my friend would turn off her phone at 9. She said, no, this is being, so where you say no, right? That's like a bookend. No, I will take these many clients today. That's like a bookend. You're putting like a border or a boundary. Said, no, for my own sanity, for my, because I love myself, I need to do zero negativity. No negativity entertained in this house or in this space. Nobody's going to speak anything negative. So that's a bookend that you create. Mhm. So you can create your own bookends from tangible to intangible, measurable to the unmeasurable, no? Gross to the subtle. Yeah. Meditation practice, definitely. That's how you charge yourself inside. People do breathing exercise, walking in nature. These are different ways where you can connect to your true self and take care of the self. What is that? Uh-huh. When was it last that you got a mail, like a snail mail, a postcard or a post mail, a personal, not bills, but and someone hand wrote, not just printed and gave it to you, a handwritten. It's becoming obsolete almost.
I'm old school. I
You
still
write?
write letters.
Very good. Did you receive any? Oh, good for you. Good. So I want you all to write today. We don't have time. Write today to yourself as a third person, someone who knows, and just take an example, someone who knows Kinnari very well, and you're very compassionate to this person. And you know the challenges that she's going through, or you yourself are going through, and you know the strength of this person as well. So from that space, looking at the overall picture, write a very loving, compassionate letter to the self. If you are a third person, and say, "Dear Fawaz, my dear best friend Fawaz," like that, and write before you go to bed today. Write a letter to the self as a third person, but very compassionate, loving. Can you try that today? Hmm? I'm going to stop sharing the screen now. Wow, we have a good, can you put this on, Kaushik Bhai? Can you put this on gallery view so we can see who is there? Anybody on Zoom wants to share the last 4 minutes? Any questions here? Any last thoughts? Our family in person? Nahi? So let's do a little self-compassion meditation. Yeah, we'll conclude with meditation. I sit very comfortably. As you listen to this gentle music, Kaushik Bhai, you'll have to share sound from the computer. You'll have to share sound. Yeah. To listen to this gentle music, just allow all the noises of the outside world, people, situation to slowly fade away. As if nothing exists outside this room. And within this room, let all things that is visible fade away. Let all the people around you fade away from your vision. All that is left is you. And see yourself getting wrapped, embraced in the light of peace. I turn my attention inward at the center of the forehead, where I, a precious being of light, am seated. As this awareness of the body melts away, all that remains is you, the light, beautiful light. And the light that you are, the peace that you have, the love that you radiate, the purity that you uphold, is all you are. I don't have to look for anything outside. I have everything on the inside. Stay in that safe space. Connect to the divine. Use the ocean positive. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So what may happen on the outside, Like the compass of compassion. Yes, and that all our responses come from the DNA of the being. Shanti. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing and being very courageous to use the mic as well. So next month onwards, we'll be starting a new set of series of insights. Next week, it will be Sister Sherry doing it. I know she sent me the topic. I don't have it on top of my head, but we will be posting it on our WhatsApp group and also on our Facebook. If anybody's interested to learn to meditate, you can call and make an appointment. All right. So stay compassionate to yourself and love yourself and take it to all the extent that you can of being selflessly loving to the self and others. Om Shanti.